All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is U.S. to pay for flights to help Panama remove migrants heading north. Let's check it out. Let's go and jump into it.
Well, speaking of the Biden administration, now a new plan to solve the immigration crisis, and it involves Panama. The U.S. will be sending Panama money to help it fund flights to deport illegal immigrants. It's a new step in curbing migration to the U.S. southern border. This is all coming at the Central American nation's new president, Jose Raul Molino. He's vowing to put an end to the Darien Gap used by migrants traveling north, or rather put an end to travel through the Darien Gap.
Okay, I like that.
I should say. Now, if you're not familiar with the geography, but you've all seen a map of Panama, it's barely 60 miles wide, this gap. It contains the main routes used by those migrating from South America to North America.
Like, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, we've done a lot for Panama, so it would be great if Panama actually did something, because again, they are going straight through Panama to get here, right? If they're able to cut off the swell, like if they can cut off it all, that'd be amazing, right? But that still really won't stop the other people that are just flying into Mexico,
which has fueled a border crisis in this part of the country. And obviously, the United States has seen the results of that. The Biden administration hopes the new agreement will deter migration from many countries.
Only South American countries.
Saying this is a move that should have happened a long time ago.
Yes.
Joining me right now is Terrell County, Texas Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland. Thank you so much, Sheriff, for being here. I know we've spoken many times, but I want to talk about these numbers. Obviously, this is something that will change the game. I mean, it sounds like it will change the game, as we've seen skyrocketing statistics through the Darien Gap. Should we say that this is actually a positive, that this is a wonderful piece of news and a development that many Americans have been hoping for?
Howdy, Adrian, and thanks for having me back. And, you know, I do think it is a good thing. And I kind of have a two-part answer. And the first part of it is, you know, sure, that's part of our strategy as U.S. Border Patrol. Whenever the 26 years I was with the Border Patrol, is to expand our borders. So as you pointed out, Darien Gap's only 60 miles wide, where you have the 2,000-mile U.S.-Mexico border. So if we can stop some of that traffic before it even gets up to Mexico, it will make a huge impact. But I also have to point out that, Panama is one of our we're their number one trading partner. And for us to be sending them more money, I'm sure there could have been something else worked out there. But it is good to know that they have a newly elected president that's willing to work with us. And the other part is, I just think this administration's trying to do whatever it can do to grab voters back to think that they're actually doing something along the border.
Well,
that's going to be that's the main thing, right? Because what Biden actually tried to do was completely irrelevant. We're still talking about 2,500 people legally, right? But that's not really helping the overall swell. And he's right when he pointed out the fact that, we've done a lot for Panama. All right. In fact, we have. So for us to even have to pay them, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, yeah, whatever. We're paying everyone else for everything, right? Why not pay them money? But that was a great point he made here. They should just do this for us. Thinking about it, right? They should just do it for us. They're not going to, right? But they should.
I mean, it's been a long time coming. We've seen millions and millions of people cross illegally. I want to break down who's exactly crossing right now. Obviously, we've seen people from Ecuador. And then you go to places like Haiti on the map, China. Those numbers have skyrocketed. The vast majority of people coming through Panama are still from Venezuela. So do we know, from your intel that you're getting, do we know if the Venezuelan government is actually working with the U.S. government, or is it
They don't care, bro.
Just blocked, deadlocked?
It's still deadlocked. Nothing going on there. But what I will tell you is all those countries that you mentioned, and we all know they all exploit the U.S.-Mexico border to illegally enter the United States or have a false asylum claim. And this administration, and I hate to point out this administration because, again, I worked under the previous 4 presidential administrations as U.S. Border Patrol agent, and they all increased border security. They all hired Border Patrol. They all built fence. But this current administration has completely dismantled all of the previous 4 administrations' efforts along the border. Right now, we'll let anybody in the world come into our country through the Mexican border, except those people from Mexico. We still send them back. It still blows my mind.
I have a question for you. I know that this was a controversial move by Governor Gavin Newsom of California to offer free medical insurance, essentially, to hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants in his state. But even in a place like Illinois, I know firsthand, people who come here illegally and are waiting for their asylum hearing receive free medical care. In New York, people receive free medical care for themselves and their children.
Yeah, while literal American families are being hit with $30, $40, $50, $100,000 bills, right? While literal American citizens have to choose between which finger they want to put back on based on the price that it would cost to put the finger back on. Yeah, that's what's happening here, guys.
In terms of what an alternative would be, what do you think is the right thing to do?
Again, and these people that are coming to those states are primarily from other countries other than Mexico. And in the Border Patrol, we call them other than Mexican, OTMs. Those are the ones that have the biggest draw here because they know right now they will receive those benefits. And until either we shut off those benefits or we go back to the policies that worked under President Trump, and we either hold people until they see an immigration judge for their asylum hearing, or we make them remain in Mexico. Those are measures that are effective. Those are measures that will serve as a deterrent to people wanting to come here. And then we can get back to having that orderly, immigration there at the border. But right now, border security and immigration are two separate things. What this administration doing is allowing people to come into the country versus securing our border.
Okay,
right. Guys, I want to point out something you said here. A super smart thing would be to have them remain specifically in Mexico. Mexico will get tired of it and say, you know what, let's do something finally, right? Instead of just talk, right? Instead of acting like it doesn't matter, right? Because they're not staying there. Why do they care, right? Make them stay in Mexico. Fact, do that.
Can you just, real quick, I know we're out of time, producers, bear with me. You say immigration and border security are two different things. Just explain that for those watching.
Right, so border security, what U.S. Border Patrol does, what Customs and Border Protection officers do at our ports of entry, they keep bad people and bad things out of America. Right now, this administration is completely bypassing that effort, whether people are coming in under a false asylum claim or they're using the CBP-1 app, at $1,200 a day to allow people in. We need to get back to securing our border, keeping bad things, bad people out. And then if we're going to go through the immigration process, we need to let those that qualify for immigration visas. Right now, again, most people that we're allowing in do not qualify for that.
Yeah. Nope. Thank you for watching.
And that's the part that's crazy, right? So if we all have the data and the stats regarding how many people are actually going to be sent back because they don't qualify for actual asylum, don't you think the government has that information, but yet they still are like, you know what, I don't care, right? We can't do anything about this because it's going to hurt my base type of thing. But guys, we need to do something like right now regarding this topic, guys. But all right, listen, guys, let me know in the comments as usual what you think. I'll try to respond to as many as humanly possible. And you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.